Hey, what's up, stone posters? We got another taxidermy video. Today I'm doing a largemouth bass for a friend of mine. We've got it all skinned and tanned. We're just working on the body right here. We've got to glue in a little wooden piece here. To do that, I just traced it out, cut it. Now I've put in some hot glue in here. And then we've got a little piece of particle board that we'll put in. Here we go, got that piece glued in. We've got to test fit it. We'll probably have to sand it down a little bit more, and then we'll be ready to mount it. So we'll go ahead and get a test fit now. All right, we had a little bit of fleshing to do, but we got that all done now. Always when you're doing taxidermy, make sure that you get all the skin out. You know, skin it, wash it, skin it again, go over it, wash it several times, because that's going to show you what's left, and then just go through and pick off the little pieces of meat that are left, and just make sure that you get it really clean. So now we got it all cleaned up. Our form's pretty close. I know we're gonna have to do a little bit of fine tuning here, but we're gonna go ahead and test fit it, see how we're looking so far. Head lined up straight. And then pull this under. Always start with like your nose, so you know where the head's gonna be, you know where the tail's gonna be. So start there and then work your way around. All right, it looks like we're a little long here in the tail and a little bit too wide. The body is really close. As you can see, the fins are pretty much right on the top. That's what you're looking for there. So you want everything to be centered. Looks like we got to go down just a little bit. And then up here on the chin, we're really close. Right here. And we'll have to do a little bit of adjustments with the head where the skull meets the rest of the body. So we'll go ahead and get those adjustments made, and then we'll be ready to mount it all up. If you like what you're seeing here, like the taxidermy, the hunting videos, go ahead and subscribe. We need all the help that we can get, and we're always looking to increase the amount of subscribers that we have. We love hearing from you guys, and we love getting the views. So if you like what you're seeing, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. All right, we got the form all sanded down and got it to where it fits a little bit better now. I think now we're ready to mount. Like I said before, you start with the head and your tail. Those are your two known points. And then from there, I kind of pull everything over, make sure that my fins are lining up in the middle, right at the top of the back there. That looks good, that all looks good. Pull that bottom up. We'll have to get some pins in it, but the bottom's lining up good. So we should be ready to go here. Here's like just wax paper. Before you skin the fish, I always make tracings of it, you know, the side and the top, and then make like measurement at the tail and at the base here, or the width here, the base of the tail and the width of the fish. That just helps you make a form a little bit easier. It helps everything line up better. This little piece here, we cut it a little too short, so we're working with some nails and a lot of glue and stuff, but it's gonna work out. So we're gonna time-lapse mounting everything up, and then we'll show you at the end kind of a walkthrough of what we all did. So here we go. All right, we got it all mounted up. It took a little bit longer than I wanted it to, but that's all right. We weren't quite lined up good the first time, so we had to pull all of the T-pins out and then redo that. We just put some like good hardware staples into the back, and that holds the skin on. I sewed one, and I learned really quick after that that you don't need to sew them. You can staple them. That was terrible. It took me like 2 or 3 hours to sew a fish about the same size, where it takes me about 2 minutes to staple one. So stapling is definitely better if you have a nice sturdy foam to staple into. Next up, we need to card the fins. We just have some little plastic foam, or plastic mesh, or old screen works too. You just put that on there and then paper clip it over the fins, and that holds them to let them dry so that they're held open like that and not drying all crooked and in a weird position. So we'll do that next, and after that it's kind of just finishing work. We can put the eyes in next if we want to. You don't have to, but yep, just carding the fins up next, and then we'll get it screwed up to a board. So we'll go ahead and get that all done now. All right, we're up on the stand now. I think all that we need to do now is get the mouth opened up and set. Everything's been carded, and a couple of them I had to put a T-pin in to kind of hold them where I want them to dry at. The tail, this fin right here, is usually pretty loose. This one I cut a little too deep, and we had to put a T-pin on the back side of that one. But for the most part, they'll be solid enough that they'll just sit where you want them to. This one needs to be adjusted a little bit. Alright, we got the mouth all spread open so it'll dry like that, and then in between the gills we put some more of the plastic mesh in there to kind of keep the gills separate and make them dry, spread out, so it looks better with an open mouth. Open mouth takes a little bit more work just because you have a lot more detail work in the mouth, especially on like a largemouth bass. The mouth is kind of the showpiece of the fish. You know, that's what they're known for. So there's a lot of finish work. I'll probably just do some minor adjustments as it's drying. I'll see something that I don't like, so I'll adjust a T-pin, add a T-pin, take out a T-pin, whatever, you know. But for right now, I think everything looks good. All the fins are carded up. The mouth is looking good enough for now. We're gonna see about putting some eyes in here. I get these from Taxidermy. They were in the other video when I did the duck. These were the eyes that were in there. See how they look. That should be pretty close. These eyes are really cheap, but they're good. They're flexible, so they pop in pretty easy, but they look good. They're inexpensive, but easy to work with. We're gonna trim around the edges here. It has instructions in either Matuska or another YouTube video that they made. They have instructions on how to mount these eyes. They're a little bit different. Once you get them to fit and line up right, they're pretty easy, but you have to cut the backing off. About like that. You just cut it around that outside there, and then get them to where they can just pop in there. That one's good. Other than dropping it into the cheek, we'll have to get some clay in there now so that we have a base to set that eye in if we can get it out. So we'll go ahead and get some clay packed in there so that we can build a base for the eye. Alright, here we are, all finished up. The mouth is spread open with some screws there to hold it open. The head had to be propped up a little bit, and that caused a little bit of issues just getting everything to line back up then after that. But for the most part, I think it turned out pretty good. We'll have to let it dry now for probably like 2.5 weeks. And that'll let the fins all dry out, the skin dry out, and then really set it all. You can speed it up with like a fan or something. The one thing that I did forget to mention is the cheeks here, that you'll have to fill those back up with clay when you fill up the eyes. A lot of this head space in here where the brain was, you'll have to fill that back up with clay. It doesn't really matter too much on the order. You can fill everything up with clay before you mount it. I just do it afterwards. It makes it a little bit easier to look at everything while you're doing it and fill it up to make it all look good and blend together. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. Like I said, we'll probably be doing a little bit more taxidermy. It's getting cold now, so fishing's kind of not an option right now. Duck season's kind of winding down. We still have about a month of goose season left, a little bit less than a month, and then conservation snow geese, but it's kind of slow right now, so we're just trying to find stuff to make videos out of, and winter is a good time to do taxidermy, so that's what we're doing. So thanks for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to Stone Post Fishing, and we'll see you on the next one.